Namaskar. Dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, leaders from the industry, academicians, and dear students. I am delighted to welcome you all to the 10th Corporate Summit organized by the Jaipuria Institute of Management. For the last 10 years, the Management Institute has been organizing these events in which we are getting large participation from the industry, and topics which are being discussed is very relevant and pertinent and contemporary to the changes that are happening in the ecosystem. And we have a large number of students here present. I think they will be getting a lot of information, feedback, support, and understanding as to what are the challenges the industry is facing, what are the innovative practices that are happening, and how the ecosystem is evolving. Because when you are young, 18, 19 years old, you require guidance and coaching from people from the industry. And we have a great panel here, and we'll be talking on different subjects today and trying to understand what are the strategies that are required for innovation and growth in future. The theme for today's conference is very apt: innovation-driven growth strategies. We always continue to dwell upon it, but at times we are clueless. But I think that today's young generation, the mindset has changed. Earlier, it was generally blocked. We are trying to go in silos, but today we want to talk about alternative thinking. What are the different avenues which are open? What are the different opportunities that come through? And we like to discuss everything. And particularly when I see it myself, when I sit with my children who are 42 and 35, and we discuss certain things at home, I always think that they come up with different perspectives. So this is the advantage of talking to young people, discussing with them, and at least you get a perspective which probably you must have not thought of. So this brings in a lot of innovation, lot of creativity, lot of alternative thinking, which otherwise one does not get. Friends, when we talk about innovation, it is not only about a product that has to be innovated. It has to be the ability to conceive, to design, to deliver, and to scale new products, services, and processes, looking into the need of the customer, and that should help in driving growth. I believe that this is the core of each and every business or corporate. It has shaped the civilization and transformed our country in the last so many years. I remember when we gained independence, we were more of an approach of a socialistic nation. The mindset of the political leaders was that we have to look after the interest of everybody, and at a gradual pace we started moving into manufacturing. Our family also came into manufacturing right then, and we put up textile units and went into flour mill and other activities. But generally the concept was to be conservative and not open out. But when in 1991 the liberalization movement started, I remember there used to be a Bombay Club, and the industry used to think that if you liberalize very soon, the industry will not be able to compete and there will be a lot of challenges. However, these apprehensions were overcome because people saw the advantage of liberalization. I remember in the textile, when the textile mills were there, people were very, very conservative that goods will come from China or from cheap countries where it will spoil the market. But I think people innovated, and the industries and the people who were running those industries had a different perception. They thought that they will be able to make new products, better products, and a lot of focus was on research and development and innovation. So this led to development. And more so, when you see the automobile industry or the IT industry and the way it has grown in the last, since the liberalization, is something that we are very proud of. 10 years back, our country was only $2.1 trillion economy. In the last 10 years, as we all know, it has become growth of 100%, and today we are close to $4.2 trillion economy. So this is the growth in case the right ecosystem is made available to the people. This is the growth if there's the right political leadership. This is the growth that our youth or our country can attain if given the right freedom to work and have minimum of government interventions. And I think we are looking for a very bright future. I foresee that primarily this will be influenced by three things. Firstly, technology. Secondly, sustainability. And thirdly, customers' needs and experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, AI, cloud computing, and robotics has revolutionized the way we are working, and it will continue to increase because I remember when we were running the Swadeshi cotton mill in Kanpur, we had 10,000 employees during that time. And for that type of facility that was there, I think today 500 people can do the job because most of the machines are automated and you don't require so many people to do the same type of job. And this has happened in each and every industry. So we are seeing that the World Economic Forum came out with a report of the future of jobs, and we have seen that large number of jobs will be displaced, lot of unskilled jobs, semi-skilled jobs, repetitive jobs will be affected. But on the contrary, there will be a large number of jobs with different skill sets which will also be created. As per the report, almost like 79 million new jobs will be created, but those jobs will be in different skills and competencies that we require. And hence it is important that our students continuously understand what are the competencies which are required in the future, because it requires jobs in the realm of technology, data science, and cyberspace. Even as we are seeing that people are getting old, and lot of jobs will be required in the sector which requires care for elderly. So there are different aspects and different areas in which tremendous amount of jobs will be required. So we don't have to be threatened by technology, but nonetheless we have to upgrade ourselves on a regular basis, because only then we'll be able to survive and thrive in the future. Even the children or the people who will be getting into the job market will have to continuously change jobs, because something will become redundant, something new will come up, and one has to constantly be alive to the situation as to what changes are happening. I think the industry is constantly grappling with the fact that with these new technologies and the strategies that we want to build up, how do we enhance productivity, how do we enhance efficiency, and also take the advantage of the first mover. At times we see that it is not very good to be a first mover in certain things, but nonetheless, but if we are able to get a position, then probably even if you fail for the first time, but you have a lot of experience to be able to take it forward. Whenever we think of companies as far as innovation is concerned, the companies that come to my mind are either Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and now NVIDIA. And all these companies have continuously challenged the status quo. They have been doing certain things. They were market leaders, but they themselves disrupted themselves because they wanted to go for something new, something more imaginative, something more creative. They also reimagined business models, transformed customers' experience, and unlocked new opportunities. I had a chance to visit San Francisco and go to the Apple factory last year, and I saw young people in the age of 18 to 25 working, and the work culture and the experience that I saw was really amazing. Similarly, I was there at the Tesla plant where almost like 30,000 people are working round the shift, despite the fact it is a highly automated plant. So you can imagine the capacity and the size of the plant. But despite all this, the amount of people that are required to manufacture and to meet the needs of the customers is growing day by day. Besides this, sustainability becomes a very important area in which we have to care for the environment, and we have not only to focus on profits, but also be purpose driven. So the innovation that has to happen which is purpose driven. So we will have to ensure that we recycle whatever is there, produce, and wastages has to be minimized. We have to use environmentally friendly products, and we are being driven by the customers' needs. Customers also want this. It is not because we are wanting this to be done, because the customers are becoming more demanding today, that unless you give them products which are environmentally friendly, they are not prepared to accept it. In the textile field, with my experience, whether it is sports good company, Decathlon, or Levi's jeans company, all of them are using almost like 70 to 80 products that are there on the shelves, have some element of recycling which is there, because that is what their cost is also coming down. Earlier it used to, that probably it will be difficult for them to manage, but now they say that they are able to reduce their cost by using these type of products, and they are able to charge a premium when they are selling these products in the market. So our vision has to be that we are able to look after the environment, look after the society, and also have a governance structure which is equitable and fair to everybody with whom we are working. So we have to ensure that all the stakeholders' interest is taken into place. Another important factor is the customer's centricity, or customer's experience and his needs. So whenever we talk about innovation, I personally feel that we have to address the who. Whom are we addressing? And what exactly does the customer's need is, what exactly the customer expectation is, and his aspiration is. Unless that we are very clear about, we will not be able to create a structure or the strategy to be able to address the who. And once we have been able to identify the customer's expectations, we will have to go for the what. And for the what, we'll have to have the solution in place and discuss alternative solutions, and then come down to the one which is most appropriate for the type of problem that we are facing. And then finally it is the how. And for that, we have to create different type of business models, and we have to see how we can scale it up and also monetize the whole thing. Because after all, if you are coming out with a solution, you have to look for scales. And we as a country is a very large country with 150 billion people, and we have to see that we are able to address to the problems of each and every to the last mile. We cannot be happy by addressing the challenges of people who are living in big cities, but we have to meet and to address the problems of each and every person. So hyper personalization becomes the key, and we have to see that each and every problem is addressed. Besides this, I feel that a lot of experimentation and research is required. In India, we have been shy in terms of research because it requires huge funding, and the corporates must come forward apart from the government to spend more and more money on research, because when you do more research, you come up with innovative ideas and thoughts, and once they are implemented, then apparently it will lead to much better profits for the company and also satisfy your customers and also help in growing the market base or the customer base that you have. This requires partnerships, this requires collaboration, both with the academia, with the startup companies, with all those who are in the ecosystem. And I think the more we are able to partner with all of them, the better we are able to come out with solutions. The government of India in the last few years have taken a lot of initiatives. We have seen the Startup India, the Make in India programs, which have been highly successful. The startup culture, which we have seen, more than 120,000 companies in the startup space, started by young children, have already come up. More than 120 have become unicorns. And the government is supporting them in every manner. They are getting collateral-free loans. Collaborative research, government is trying to promote. And they are also assisting them in filing of patents. So I think this has to be encouraged, and once the industry and academia and startup, because the startup culture has to start at the very early age from the school system. With my experience both in the education as well in industry, I personally feel that you have to start this mindset or this area in terms of making the student more creative, more agile, make them experiment and to explore, starts at a very young age. And once he gets into this at an early age, then the tinkering that he gets and fortunately the government of India promoted the Atal Tinkering Labs, the Atal Innovation Labs also in the country, which has been able to open up the minds both of the educators and also the students. Because today the learning is collaborative. The students and teachers are learning together. They are guiding them more and mentoring them more. But there's an exchange, a healthy exchange of thoughts and ideas, which helps in the education process. While we are at times fascinated at what is happening globally in terms of the companies that are doing well, but I will still like to recall what ISRO was able to do when the Chandrayaan-3 was landed on the moon on 23rd August 2023. That was a breakthrough innovation as far as our country was concerned, and at a very, very minimal cost. Likewise, when the COVID hit us, another breakthrough innovation was with regard to the vaccines that we developed, and we supplied not only for our country, for our needs, but became a pioneer in terms of addressing the challenges and problems of other countries. The other day, Mr. Bill Gates was here, and he was saying that lot of innovations that are taking place in India are of gold standards, because the type of digital stack which has been developed, the type of digital infrastructure that has been developed, whether it is the Aadhaar, whether it is the UPI payment gateway, whether it is the mobile connectivity to the last mile, all these things are something which no country has been able to do. Even the developed countries are facing those challenges. And today in India, we are proud of the fact that these systems have been developed by our local people, by our talent, by our engineers. And today we can claim with pride and satisfaction that we are ahead of the curve in terms of IT is concerned, and the innovative practices and strategies we have adopted to be able to meet the last mile in terms of giving subsidies or in terms of also looking after the interest of each and every person. I am also happy to share that the Jaipuria Institute of Management is also running an Institution Innovative Council established by AICTE. Lot of new ideas has been put in the Yukti platform, and we will like to engage with the industry so that these ideas can ultimately help us in coming to incubation stage, to patenting, and so that these children are also inspired, and the industry can also think differently if they engage with young students, because there are so many new ideas that come up, and we are very upbeat that the children are coming with such things that we otherwise would not have thought. So it's a great time for us in India that these platforms are there. One can post various things in these platforms, and great repository the government has created in terms of innovation policy and innovation repository. I am told that today during the conference there will be discussions on various themes, particularly on the retail and FMCG, IT, banking and finance, and a lot of deliberations will take place, and each one of us will be able to take out something which will be useful to us. I think the future India looks very promising. We are all looking up to the country, and the world is looking at us, because India is one of those countries where we are growing, where we are prospering in every aspect. We are weak in certain areas, whether it is defense, now even the defense, space, energy, computers, semiconductors, you name it, and everywhere we are present. And I think these challenges, which we thought will be there in terms of technology, are being overcome, and things are happening at scale. So we have to ensure that we also take care of the old traditions of the of the rural masses, and we involve everybody in the whole ecosystem so that nobody is left behind. Because after all, we are a great country and we have to take everybody together. And while the government is making their own steps and able to do that, but as an industry organization or body and education institutions, we have to carry them together, because in education we see that with generative AI, although we feel that it will give lot of support and lot of assistance to the teachers, but how do we address the challenges of the people who are in the bottom of the pyramid and who are not able to have access of mobiles and internet? So a lot of initiatives are being taken by the government and by the progressive schools to be able to address the people at the last mile as well. So let us all ensure that the fruits of innovation, the strategies of innovation, should be able to give equal opportunities to each and every person. With these words, I once again thank you all for coming here for the conference, and I hope the deliberations of today will help in igniting minds, giving a new mindset with regard to innovative practices, and we go back with a drive and mission that we will be able to do something different and new. Thank you.